Hello and welcome here on another episode of Talon Talk. I'm Jon Edmond, and joining me here today is men's basketball team head coach Justin Potts. Coach Potts, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Always good to be with you. It's a competition between you and Jack. So Jack's not here, so it's great to be with you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you're with me today, so you can tell Jack you'll see him another day, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, so first, let's get it started. We know all about your coaching history. We're going to dive into that. We're going to have a little bit of fun. But first, we want to know about Coach Potts, the person. Could you just tell me a little bit about your upbringing?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Sparta, New Jersey, so I'm a Jersey guy. Youngest of three, so I got an older brother and an older sister. We were all into athletics. My brother played college football at Ithaca and had a really successful career there. Fell in love with the game of basketball at a young age. Grew up in a town that had a really good basketball program at Sparta High School, and that kind of created a love for me. And then that led to playing in college. It was not a great playing career, but I did play in college. Always had the aspiration to be a coach. I thought I was going to teach and coach, but had the chance to get into college coaching and really have never looked back. And just a real family guy. I mean, I have a family of my own now and have two little girls and try to involve them in our program. Off the court, I'm a laid back guy. I love to golf. I love to cook. So those are the two hobbies I probably spend the most time on. But just really a down to earth guy that enjoys being around family and friends.
All right, and you said you fell in love with the game of basketball. What specifically made you fall in love with the game?
Yeah, I would say there was a team in Sparta in 1989. So I was right around 12 that got to the state finals. Chris Gent ended up going on and playing at Ohio State, played in the NBA. He's now coaching with the Atlanta Hawks. John D played on that team. He played at Pace University, which was Division II. The town kind of rallied around that team. They were really good. They played Shabazz and Snyder and Lincoln and did some things that out in Sparta those teams hadn't played down in those areas and played teams of that caliber. So I think just being around that team and seeing the success, they played really fast. They got up and down. So it was just something that stuck with me at a young age, and I was able to kind of be around those guys as a young guy, and they would take me to the park and help me work on my game. So I would say it was that team that kind of sparked it a little bit. And then playing in the driveway, having my brother beat me up a little bit, continued to build some competitive nature in me. So I would definitely say it was that team, though.
And growing up, what type of position did you play? Were you a shooting guard, a point guard?
I played the point. I think I had a pretty good IQ, and I could see the floor and those kind of things. I couldn't make a shot if I was left alone. They didn't want me shooting the ball too much. No, Steph Curry. No. I was a setup guy. I tried to distribute the basketball. When I became a two guard in college, I always joked with our guys I had a red light on me, not a green light. They didn't want me shooting too much. But mostly a point guard primarily.
Mostly a point guard. So you said you played with your little brother. Did he play at all? Like what?
Yeah, older brother. I was the youngest. He was a point guard as well. He was more of a football guy. He was a quarterback and a defensive back. So when he played basketball, he wasn't going to shoot either. He was just going to try to defend the best player on the other team. So playing against him in the driveway, I think really helped me, again, try to find ways to be successful against somebody bigger and stronger.
And growing up, was there any player that you idolized? Was there a team that you idolized as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the Jordan era. I'm in the Jordan era. So, my dad actually met MJ way back in the day, so I got his autograph when I was a little kid. But I loved the Bulls. Obviously, they were really successful. But I was a Showtime guy. I loved the way the Lakers played. They played fast. They really shared the ball. So that was probably the team I liked watching the most. That wasn't obviously close to me. And just really had an affinity for the Kentucky teams back then with Pitino that were running and pressing and playing fast and doing those kind of things.
Okay, well, you kind of just shook me there.
I noticed there was a little bit of a.
Yeah, you said Jordan era. I've never been alive to watch him play, so he's kind of a mythical player to me. I'm a LeBron guy, so Jordan stuff.
You're dating me there. You're kind of telling me I'm old. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, me and Jordan, we don't mix. I'm not really a Jordan guy. And because you said that, we're going to have to move on to the next topic, which is your MSU journey. So you've been here for 3 years. Tell me how it's been so far.
Yeah, it's been awesome. This is an incredible institution. The amount of support you get from the athletic department, from the staff in the athletic department, from the student body, from you guys at the Red Hawk Sports Network. Even though it's Division III, it's got a big time feel. I think the commitment to athletics here, the opportunity for guys to get a world-class education and be successful in whatever endeavor they're pursuing is a great opportunity. And I just think we're growing the program, trying to build it the way we think it can be successful and sustainable over the course of time. Obviously, COVID threw a wrench into a lot of things for everybody, but I think we adapted and adjusted going through that. So I think that was really an area we grew and learned from. But it's been awesome. I love it here. I like the support we get. I think there's a great opportunity as coaches and athletic programs to be successful in a lot of areas.
Yeah, and you touched on it a little bit. 2019, you had your first season here, and then you got hit by a pandemic. How did you specifically, as a coach, adjust to that?
Yeah, obviously, we'd never been a part of it. Even though I'm considerably older than you after the Jordan era comment. What we tried to do was just support our guys to the best we could. And the one thing that we try to do with our guys is be there for them academically, be there for them obviously from a basketball standpoint, and then be there for them as young men to grow and develop as people. And obviously when you're away from them in that situation, you can't be with them. It makes a little bit of challenge. We did a lot of Zooms with them. We did a lot of information sessions about what are they doing academically, the social justice stuff. We talked about that with them. Just tried to communicate at a high level constantly, whether it be text messages, Zooms, phone calls, trying to stay on top of them, and then helping them find ways to grow in a tough time frame where you couldn't get into gyms, you couldn't do a lot of things. So I think as a coaching staff, Coach Rossi did a heck of a job communicating to guys. Coach Bishop and Coach O, who was with us back then, I think really helped the guys grow during that time frame. You can't get stuff done without a great coaching staff, and we have a great coaching staff. And I think we actually got better as a program. I think guys got closer with each other. Guys got to understand some things about each other during a difficult time. And I think I like to look back on it and think we were fortunate enough to find a way to grow and develop during that time.
And during that time, how did that change up the recruiting process for you guys?
Yeah, we were fortunate that we had been pretty aggressive early that year of getting out and seeing guys and getting after guys that we thought would fit the program. So really the only thing changed was you couldn't go see them play, obviously, and you tried to finish it out on the phone or via Zoom. It actually we tailored our recruiting a little bit differently. We created a PowerPoint presentation that could be done via Zoom or in person, which has been received really well by recruits and their families. So some things stayed the same. The one biggest change was not being able to physically get out and see them or do home visits and that kind of stuff. So that now became a Zoom situation. But Coach Rossi does a remarkable job with that. He's got a lot of connections in New Jersey and is always constantly working to try to find a way to better the program.
In 2019, you left your alma mater, Moravian, to come over here in Montclair State. What kind of feel was that? Do you kind of regret that, or are you happy that?
No, I love it. It was a tough decision, obviously. I went to Moravian, I played there. That's where I got my coaching career started, and then went back there and tried to revive a program that had won 5 games the year before I got there, and we were able to do it. It was a blast. We had a really good time. We went to 3 conference championships, won 2 of them, and won the first NCAA tournament game in school history. So the amount of success we achieved, credit to the players. That's not me. We had really good players, guys that bought into a vision of what we were going to try to do there. Leaving was tough because I had guys that we obviously had recruited that were still going to be members of that program. But at the end of the day, as you go into your coaching journey, you got to find situations that are best for you and your family. And this was just a unique opportunity. I joke all the time. I probably had a lifetime contract at Moravian. I didn't need to worry about too much. But I just thought this presented a really unique opportunity to continue to try to grow and develop as a coach, to be at an institution that had a great vision for athletics and academics, and to continue to recruit guys and try to impact their lives. And again, it was hard leaving. I left it in a great place, I think, having turned the program around in such a short amount of time. Still try to follow them, still have some guys that are there and some former players that are helping as assistants now, and wish them nothing but success, but this was the right choice for me.
And when you came over here, you brought over Coach Jon Rossi with you. Just talk to me a little bit how your relationship is with him.
Yeah, we're, as my wife would say, I probably talk to Coach Rossi more than I talk to her some days. We're connected. We're guys that have a vision for what we want to accomplish and how we want to do it. We always talk about recruiting people, not players. And as a coach, he's just a great human being. He's got an incredible work ethic. He really commits himself to developing his own personal style as a coach and growing there. He watches a ton of film. He gets our guys in to watch film. He was a remarkable player, obviously, as I've talked about before, and I think that impacts the guys that you're coaching. But I think the thing about Sean is he just builds relationships with guys, and we have a great relationship. I look at him as a head coach, so I'm very fortunate to have had him for as long as I have. He's definitely going to warrant an opportunity sooner rather than later. But we try to push each other to get better. I don't want a yes man, and he's a guy that challenges me, and he's had a heavy hand in what we do offensively. So that's an area that I've kind of given to him and let him kind of run with a little bit. But just an incredible basketball mind, but more importantly, just an incredible man.
Definitely. Now, moving on to the next topic, we're going to talk about the basketball team a little bit. I heard that you watched my top 5 list. What did you think of it?
I did. I thought it was remarkable. There was some energy coming out of it. There were things that I've been talking about, so I don't know if you were in my mind a little bit or reading my mind. Yeah, but I thought it was great. I thought they were very appropriate for some of the things we're trying to do, and obviously shows you're doing your homework, so you're paying attention.
Yeah, I definitely am. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go through that list from bottom to top, and you're going to explain to me how you feel like the team could improve on that this season.
Sounds good.
All right, so number 5, turnovers. Take it away.
I think that's the one area that I feel pretty good at so far. We changed our goal. We were normally a 1-to-1 assist to turnover was our goal per game. When you're playing as fast as we are, if you get to that ratio, you're usually pretty successful. Coach Rossi thought we could be better than that, so we put it at 12 turnovers a game, which I think right now we're either right at that number or maybe just a little bit below it. So I think we're taking care of the ball better. We're making better decisions. We have more guys that can handle it out there a little bit, so that obviously helps. But I feel very confident that we can continue to take care of the basketball as we go through the games and get into conference play. And just really proud of the amount of time our guys are putting into seeing film and making the right reads and those kind of things. So very happy with number 5.
All right, and number 4, assists. What can you guys do?
That's another. This is easy, John. We've been really good there. We share the ball. We have a good understanding of trying to find give up the good shot for the great shot. I know we had 21 assists in the first game. I think last night we were close to 20-something as well. So, I think we have a group that's unselfish, that's connected to each other and understands that, the way we're trying to play, it's going to be multiple guys a night. It's going to be different nights for different guys, those kind of things. And they take care of it. They share it. They're ready to shoot it. We talk about, being ready to shoot it on the catch. And I think when you see us, we call it punching the paint and getting into the lane and spraying it, guys are ready to shoot it, which leads to a lot of assists.
All right. And number 3, injuries. You guys had a couple of injuries last year, a big injury in Steve Bremen. How could you guys kind of improve on that?
Yeah, I mean, Tara Temple and her training staff does a remarkable job. It's not an easy job, but they do a remarkable job. So she keeps our guys out there. We've been nicked up a little bit. Nothing that's been major this year, but we have been nicked a little bit where we've lost guys for a couple days here or there. So I think the biggest thing is continue to get in the weight room and do some strength training. And we did a little yoga this morning. The guys were excited for that. One guy said, I thought we should just stretch, and I had to explain that yoga was stretching, but it's for another day. You know what I mean? So I think trying to get them to take care of their bodies, get some rest, eat right, get in the training room, do all the rehab will hopefully continue to keep us healthy as we go forward.
And number 2, big man, like I say all the time, you guys lost Malachi Smythe, or I like to call him Mighty Smythe. You guys lost him, but you guys have Bremen and Irvin Calendar IV stepping up. How could you guys improve on that?
Yeah, I think the area is important for us because we're a little bit undersized, obviously. Irv has a great knack for the basketball, so he's rebounded it really well. I think the keys there are going to be Fran Paulino, who's starting to play pretty well and starting to understand some things, and then Grant Holbrook, who's a freshman. Those 2 guys got to keep getting better to back Steve up and give him some spells and lengthen their rotations. I'm comfortable that they're going to get there. I'm not comfortable where we are with that position yet. I think we got to keep working to get a little bit better. Steve's playing at an extremely high level, but I think those younger guys are going to have to grow and develop behind him.
And number 1, shooting. You guys said you brought in some players to really shoot the ball for you guys this season. How do you guys improve on that?
Yeah, I think just continuing to shoot. It sounds pretty simple, right? But that's a repetitive thing. You mentioned Steph Curry before. One of the things we try to talk to our guys about is in season he makes 250 a day. You know what I mean? So we kind of use that as a barometer. We just started this week where guys will send texts into the group, say, I just made 200 threes. And then the next guy will come in and say, I made 250. So I think the more they continue to get in there and shoot, that will help. And then the reality in college basketball is when you're a young guy, you're not used to the speed of the game. You're not used to where your shots are coming from. So I think guys like Kyrie Henry, Mike Jack, Amari Mills, Kaleem Lambert, I think they'll get better and make more shots as we go through. I think right now we're averaging 36 threes a game. So we're not shying away from them. We're only right around, I think we're right about 30%, 30.8 maybe. I think that will go up. Anything in the mid to high 30s is going to give us a good chance to be successful. So I think we're working at it, which I'm happy about. But number 1's got to improve in the game. We got to start making more.
Now, you say all the time that basketball is one thing, but it's deeper than that. You want to show these young players how to be men in the real world. So just take it away on how you're actually preparing them to go out in the real world.
I mean, it's good to see that you acknowledge it, and I know other people have acknowledged it. At the end of the day, we're life coaches. You know what I mean? We coach the game of basketball, and that's my title, but it's way deeper, like you said. What we're trying to get them to understand is the game is basically a training ground for life. right? So you're going to go through adversity. You're going to have to learn to work hard. You're going to have to be on a team. You're going to have to do all these things to try to be successful in the confines of Montclair State basketball. But don't let it stop there. Let that translate into whatever job you're going to pursue, whatever you want to do, whatever endeavors are coming after Montclair State. So how do we do it? I try to show them the side of me as a coach, as a husband, as a father, so they get to maybe pick up some of the things I do well. We run the program like a family, so we build relationships with them. They're constantly in and out of our office. We're constantly communicating with them about things that we think are important. We do Hawk Talks. So we schedule those, during the season. It's not as frequent as we'd like, but maybe every month or every other month, and just educational platforms to get them to understand different things outside of basketball. The greatest reward you have as a coach is impacting somebody's life, and that's not necessarily cutting down a net or winning a championship. It's those guys looking back saying, hey, I became a better person during my time around them. So Coach Rossi uses a good phrase. We want our program to be filled with guys that want to grow. And if you're around other people that want to grow, you're probably going to grow with them. And I think we do a good job of that. I tell the guys all the time, I love them. I'm going to coach them really hard. I'm going to demand a lot out of them. But at the other side, I'm going to run through a wall for them and try to help them get where they want to go in their life. As I say, John Calipari said it really well. You're just trying to be a dream fulfiller. I'm living my dream at 44. They're 18 to 22. Whatever that dream is, let's help them try to live it.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of Talon Talk.